Welcome to the Web Application Pen Testing course at Pentester Academy. Now in this video, we will look at the different types of XSS. So broadly, XSS can be divided into persistent, non-persistent, and DOM-based. In this video, we will primarily look at the persistent and the non-persistent one, and we'll reserve a very detailed discussion on DOM-based XSS for a later video. So what is persistent, or as it is popularly called, type 1 XSS? Well, this is the case in which the actual XSS attack payload gets stored on the server side and is rendered every time you visit the vulnerable page. Now, depending on if the vulnerable page is viewable to all users of the site or to just a section of users, you may have either everyone or just that specific section of users getting affected. So let me give you an example. Now, there are many vulnerable web applications out there. One of my favorite is Damn Vulnerable Web App, or DVWA, which you can download from this URL. It should be really easy to set up. I've already done that. And ensure before you start that the security level is set to low, and you can go to XSS stored. So one of the most common examples of stored XSS is when you probably leave like a comment in a blog or sign a guest book or anything which goes ahead and stores user input and then displays it back again in a persistent way, probably using a database at the back end. So here is one example. We type this in, we say Vivek, and message, we say hello all, right? Which is my favorite message, as all of you know. And then I add the script tag and put document.cookie inside it. Close my script tag. And if you notice, I've run out of space. So I'm going to compress this a bit. There we go. And now let me sign the guest book. You can clearly see as soon as I've signed it, I get an alert saying this is the cookie PHP session ID followed by security equals low. Now if we were to look at this page, what you would find is that our script tag is now embedded in it. Now in persistent, the thing is that even if you go back to this page, say we refresh the page, you would actually find that the attack seems to be there, right? Looks like we resend the post data. That's the reason why we now have a new one. And right, so this is how persistent XSS works. Now let's look at non-persistent or type 2. In many cases, this is what people tend to call reflected XSS. So if you go back in here, this is exactly the case which we had taken in the previous video. So if you remember, you could basically close the tag in there, put vulnerable to XSS, click on sign in, and you would get the alert box. Now, unfortunately, the very next time you go to this page, you would pretty much not get the XSS alert. Now, simply because the parameters which you're sending are not getting stored on the server side, rather, every single time we would have to have the client send it to the server to have the reflection happen, right? So this is a case in which you'd probably send this link in an email or probably through some social media channel and expect that the user would end up clicking it so that you have control over the specific cookie, and you can do session hijacking and a bunch of other things really. So this is really persistent and non-persistent XSS. I hope you've clearly understood the difference right now. And what we are going to do is, as far as DOM-based XSS is concerned, we'll take it up in much detail in later videos. That's all for this video. Thank you.